Hi everyone, this video is about the littlest of my little adventures, but I'd like to share it with you all the same, as I had a really enjoyable afternoon around town. It's been so grey and rainy here recently, and it seems that today the clouds were finally starting to lift. I walked around St Ives for hours as the sun slowly went in and out of the retreating clouds, and each time I returned to a particular road, the lighting would be different from before. Earlier in the day I thought it might be best to wait for a sunnier day to take some pictures, and I nearly stayed at home, but I'm glad I left the house with my camera and walked the miles that I did. This video is sponsored by just leaving your house with your camera when you don't feel especially inspired, just to see how it goes. You should all try it. As it happens, I didn't return home with any particular photo that I'll cherish for years to come, but I did really enjoy my afternoon, and that matters a lot. The camera is a bit of an excuse to get out sometimes, perhaps like golf is to someone who really just enjoys the fresh air. For reference, it is early July 2020, and the bars and restaurants in town have just reopened after the lockdown here. It's a surreal but heartwarming atmosphere. People are enjoying the company of each other that they'd been denied for so long. I had always hoped that Bridge Street would be free of traffic one day, and that the bars and restaurants would spill out onto the streets in the warm summer evenings. The cars are still here, but as a consequence of the pandemic, there are tables outside nearly every cafe or restaurant. Some rules have been relaxed to help businesses open more safely, and it's a nice reminder that we can do things differently, but a shame we only seem to when we're forced to. I do hope some of the things that have changed over the past few months become part of our new normal lives. It's been a difficult year for lots of people, in lots of different ways. As a photographer, this year has been close to a write-off. The last wedding I photographed was in January, just before I left for Spain. It was naturally disheartening on my return to hear the Prime Minister speak these words to the nation: "We will stop all social events, including weddings." It's really not what you want to hear as a wedding photographer from the PM. He might well have added, "Yes, that means you, Chris. You'll have lots more time to make YouTube videos, but you won't be able to go anywhere. Good luck with that." So as the al fresco drinkers and diners were enjoying themselves once more in town, it was encouraging to get the feeling that things were coming back to life. When you can't do your job, what in some ways defines you, you can't help but wonder what it is you actually do and what it is you actually are. I thought I was a wedding photographer, but I've taken an awful lot of photographs of swans recently, but I won't be updating my website just yet. Anyhow, maybe I should share a few thoughts about this new camera of mine, the Fujifilm X-T4. Really, there's not too much to say, except that I really love it. I sold a couple of cameras and lenses to buy it, and I could hardly be happier with it. Well, I hate the flip around screen. It's there for emergencies, but not for fun. However, it has forced me to use the electronic viewfinder, just like they did in the old days, back in 2019. I was surprised how much the stabilized sensor made looking through the viewfinder more enjoyable. I have pretty steady hands, I think, but the stabilization seems to cure the kind of seasick feeling you can get from the EVF. I had never properly noticed it until it was gone. I like the camera very much, and I can't wait to film a wedding with it in August. Thanks very much, everyone. Please check out my Instagram and Patreon links below, and maybe even consider subscribing if you haven't already. See you all very soon.